This email campaign strategy that I'm about to share is the one that we use for our clients at Opsia and the one that 7- and 8-figure e-commerce brands use to maximize revenue for their e-commerce store. So definitely go through this video to master e-commerce email campaigns and get inspired by over 70 campaign ideas as well. So let's dive right into it. All right, let's take a look at the difference a winning email campaign strategy makes for an e-commerce brand. So here are just a few screenshots from some clients that we work with at Opsia. First screenshot, you can see 2.82 million just from email campaigns generated in less than a year. It's actually from January until October. It's a jewelry brand. So just there you can see the insane impact that has for that brand. Next screenshot right here, 74% of total email revenue is coming from campaigns for this personal care brand in Canada. And last screenshot right here, about a $5,000 average generated in sales for every single email campaign for an eyewear brand. So definitely don't neglect this, definitely focus up, listen to what I have to say in this video, and you can do this for your brand as well. Quick, before we dive in, email campaign 101, what is an email campaign? So an email campaign is a manual send. It's an email that you schedule to send out to your chosen segment or segments at a certain time on a certain day. So it's not automatically sent out based on certain triggers or actions that a consumer takes on your e-commerce store, like a flow email otherwise would be, in case you know what that is. So now that we've got that clear, let's dive right in. How many email campaigns should you be sending? So we tested this across dozens of different brands, different product categories, all that stuff. And we believe we found the most optimal campaign frequency for most e-commerce brands out there. So you can either choose to send 1 or 2 campaigns per week. This is not enough to maximize email revenue. It's kind of that out of sight, out of mind principle. You cannot really test many angles here. You'll get very slow results on those tests. This could potentially be okay for very small brands. Maybe you're the founder yourself, you're doing the emails, but you're obviously also managing customer support, product fulfillment, kind of all that stuff. So yeah, this could be okay. It's obviously a very, very bare minimum, less than obviously what I deem to be bare minimum. But if you can't do more, then obviously 1 to 2 email campaigns per week is fine. You can also go for like 5 to 7 campaigns per week. This requires like a ton of list growth due to the increased unsubscribe rates that you'll see. So you'll need a lot of new subscribers as well to keep up with those unsubscribe rates. And this can easily fatigue your recipients. Like you will just not see as many sales for every single email campaign as you otherwise would with a more optimal sending frequency. This though, however, could be fine for like very big brands with a lot of SKUs. So maybe if you're a big brand, like you can test this kind of approach. We have found though that 3 to 4 email campaigns every week is the most optimal sending frequency. So the reason why is that you stay top of mind. It's very easy to mix in value and sales with this frequency. It maximizes clicks to site and your email revenue as well. And it is just the perfect volume for most e-commerce brands out there. Let's just nail down exactly why is 3 to 4 email campaigns per week the sweet spot. Obviously, it's very important. I want to make sure you understand this. Repetition builds recognition and recognition drives revenue. So that's a big one. That's also why people see the same ad on Meta or TikTok many times every single week. You probably experienced that yourself every single week. The algorithm knows exactly what works best. That's why you're seeing these ads every single week, the same ones. It's also why you see ads everywhere from some of the biggest brands in the world like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Apple, and so on. These brands know that literally everyone knows about them already. I imagine you already obviously know about McDonald's, Apple, and Coca-Cola. But they also know that repetition builds recognition and recognition drives revenue, just like I mentioned before. Plus, when you're selling a good product that could benefit someone's life, someone's quality of life, maybe not Coca-Cola, McDonald's, obviously, unless you're talking about the experience side of things, but you'd be doing them a disservice by not reminding them about the product frequently. So hopefully you think yourself you have a good product. Why would you not want to remind people about them? Or about your product, just like Coca-Cola does or Apple does and so on. Therefore, 3 to 4 emails a week is your best bet to keep your brand top of mind for customers without overwhelming them either. So your to-do list right now, send 3 to 4 email campaigns every single week from now on. So when should you send your emails? Well, we found that anything between like 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. is the sweet spot in the time zone where obviously majority of your brand's recipients or audience is located. You can also go for something like whenever you set up your email campaign, you can pick recipient's local time zone, so it sends to the recipient at that certain time in their time zone. So if you pick like 9 a.m., well, it'll send to people in EST at 9 a.m. EST, and for people in the PST time zone, it'll send to people at 9 a.m. PST. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, obviously this can still be very different from brand to brand though, so A/B testing different send times here for campaigns is a great move. Just a quick tip, we found this to work well. So instead of scheduling your emails for like round complete numbers like 10:00 a.m. or 12:30 p.m., schedule them for like 1 or 3 minutes later after the round number, so like 10:01 a.m. or 12:32 p.m. Because then you're showing like on top of all of the other brands that send at those like specific numbers. So that could just help your emails land above all of the other brands in the inbox that send at those like complete numbers. All right, so let's dig into the meat here. So what types of emails should you send? So this is obviously a big one. This is where most of the work will happen if you're the one kind of managing your campaigns. First, you need to understand what types of campaigns we're kind of working with here. So initially we can split campaigns up into 2 different buckets. So you have your content-driven campaigns, that's sort of like your educational emails, product focus, social proof, etc. Then you've got your offer-driven campaigns such as flash sales, holiday sales, win-back offers, subscribe and save, all of that stuff. No one wants to hear just about offer sales and discounts. Obviously, we all know this, hopefully by now in 2025. It's like if you only ask a friend for favors without giving them anything in return, obviously not really a nice feeling. You want to aim for about an 80-20 split, so 80% content-driven campaigns and 20% offer-driven campaigns. This ensures you keep your email list engaged by sending them a ton of value. And it also ensures you don't train your customers to only buy when there's a discount, when there's a sale. Because if you're only sending them emails like, hey, here's 35% off, buy one, get one free now, flash sale live, 50% off today, sale ends soon, sale ends now, hey, sale extended, like people get tired of that, like they see right through it. If it's the only thing they hear about, like that's the only thing they'll be used to as well. So when you have this offer split or content split, about of like 80% content driven emails, 20% offer driven campaigns, it also means like once you run your offers, they'll perform way better and hit way harder as well. Because if you're running them every single week, well, yeah, like I mentioned, it's the only thing people are going to get used to or be used to. But if you're mainly sending like value driven campaigns and people actually like hearing from you, then once you run an offer, it's going to hit way harder and perform way better for you. So let's just quickly understand why content-driven campaigns are so vital. So again, if you're only relying on discounts to drive sales, obviously it's a fast track to shrinking margins and also training your customers to wait for the next deal. That's why our clients at Opsia and other winning brands mix in content-driven campaigns to keep engagement high without constantly slashing their prices, of course. So content-driven campaigns, they help you keep your customers engaged. People also stay interested when emails offer value, obviously not just discounts. Hopefully you know this by now, but I just want to drill that through because obviously it's very, very important. It's one of the main ways that brands still fail for some reason this day. It also helps you build trust and authority. So helpful content makes customers see you as more than just a brand or a store that they can spend their hard-earned money at. You also boost full price sales. So when people understand your product value, they see exactly what the benefits are, well, they'll have no problem actually going ahead and buying without waiting for a sale or a discount to purchase. It also helps you make promotions more effective, like I mentioned just before. Engaged email subscribers are way more likely to click and take action when a real offer comes, when they've actually like read through your emails and seen what you have to say, instead of just seeing headlines of like, hey, here's 30% off, BOGO now, all of that stuff like we just talked about as well. Let's take a look at some plug and play campaign concepts and real email examples as well. So some very exciting stuff here that you can use right away. So looking at educational campaigns, they focus on helping people better understand like key concepts, understanding products, problems, and solutions, while also naturally positioning your product as the ideal solution to pretty much everything your email talks about, whether it's like a hard plug of your product or it's just a subtle way of promoting your product in an email. Obviously, many different ways to do that. So let's look at some problem-focused concepts or frameworks right here. So why problem keeps happening. So just insert whatever obviously fits your brand right here. So why bloating keeps happening, or common pitfalls when trying to fix acne, or the myths about protein you need to know, or why most people fail to make more money, or where most solutions for weight loss falls short. Again, obviously a lot of different things you can do right here with just one simple concept or framework, but yeah, just try and see if you can use these for your brand. They all are very proven, to say the least. So looking at some process-focused concepts right here. So how specific process works step by step. So let's say how we make our product step by step. That could be a pretty interesting campaign. The smarter way to lose weight. Again, very easy example. A beginner's guide to, again, make more money. Very easy example. It can also be completely other things, like a beginner's guide to starting your own flower garden even. Like it can be super, super simple things. It doesn't just have to be like very problem-based products like obviously skincare or like bloating or all of that stuff. It can be literally anything for any brand. So definitely make sure you kind of use these and try these out for your own brand. solution focused concepts right here. So how your product was designed to fix X problem that obviously fits your product, why your product, like insert your product, outperforms the competition, how insert your product saves you more time, money, or stress. Again, definitely go through these. There are some absolute bangers in here, and we've tried most of these. Let's look at some educational email examples right here. So you can see here one from Magic Mind. It's going to be better if I don't zoom in right here. So here they just go through like powerful turmeric benefits from, obviously their product. So that's an ingredient obviously inside of the product, and they just go through some of the benefits. So very, very nice campaign right there. Do functional fragrances work from this email in the middle right here. Again, very educational, and it's really not pushing a product very hard. It's just subtly like making you think more about the product, making you understand the product a lot better just by actually talking about the product. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And on the right, there's a more kind of, I guess, not really aggressive, but still a bit more aggressive or direct, like can't focus, try out this product. Here are the ingredients, obviously, educationally focused on helping you understand what those ingredients do. And here are more examples as well. So here's one about Delta 8 on the left here, kind of explaining like why is this legal, like the fact that it is legal, how can it be legal, all of that stuff. So they make sure obviously the recipients know that, hey, there's no problem actually shopping from us. What makes Olipop in the middle right here, again talking about the ingredients, all of that stuff. And then on the right, kind of more talking about the macros and really understanding the product and the benefits and what's actually inside it. All right, so let's look at some product focused campaigns here. So they help you showcase one or more products by highlighting such things as features, benefits, use cases, and more, all of that stuff. So looking at some feature focused concepts right here, I'll just go through a few. So the unique feature that makes all the difference, this could be the gel that makes all the difference for something like skincare, or build with pheromones to solve attraction if we're talking about like a fragrance, or experience speed like never before if you're talking about cars. Like, I don't know, it can be so many different things, and obviously again insert whatever you have for it to make sense, but these are very obviously proven concepts. And again, if you pick a concept, like it doesn't have to be the subject line has to be exactly this, or the headline in the email has to be exactly this wording or whatever. It's just more so for you to understand what the email is about, so it's much easier to go ahead and actually create a good email. If we look at some benefit focused concepts, so transform your life with insert your product, how your product improves specific benefit. Again, so many different things you can do here. Comparison focused concepts as well. Again, very, very specific to obviously whatever product you have or whatever market you're in, but definitely look at those as well. Product focused email examples right here. So if we look at this one, the only filter you need, very, very simple. Like, it's just highlighting exactly this. Like, this is the thing you need to solve kind of whatever problem you have, or just the fact that you need this. Like, it's so straightforward. It's literally just showing you products. Looking at the one in the middle here, we've got some more kind of like looking at the exact features inside the product, kind of like the ingredient, what it kind of does. And then below that we have some more social proof focused stuff as well, which also works. And then we have on the right here from Byte, that cargo clean. So again, what's in the product, exactly why is it better for you, all of that stuff. So very focused on the product. Obviously, hopefully that makes a ton of sense for you as well. And here we see a shoe, like comfort on deck, very, very benefit and feature focused in one. And yeah, obviously even more campaigns about that. Obviously you can always just pause the video to go through these. But yeah, very, very nice emails, and hopefully some good inspiration for you as well. All right, so time to go through some social proof campaigns. So these kind of social proof campaigns obviously leverage the power of testimonials, reviews, community endorsements, even like expert endorsements, authority features, all that stuff to kind of, again, highlight social proof and the fact that obviously your product is real, the results are real, all of that stuff. So if we look at like customer testimonial concepts, what our customers are saying about your product, how John solved problem with product. Again, ton of good examples in here. Ratings/reviews concepts. So something like rated 4.8 out of 5 by 20,000 customers. Here's why, all of that stuff. Again, a ton of different examples you can go ahead and use. Also some before and after concepts right here. See the difference that our product makes, real transformations, or proof that product delivers real results every time. Ton of good stuff right here. And you can also, like I mentioned, use some expert/authority endorsement concepts. So recommended by doctors or backed by skincare experts or whatever, anything. So if we look at some examples right here, so we have jewelry, Performance review highlights different products with a specific review for that product, so it works super well. It's only got like 4 products in here, but it works very well. Key thing here, you want to make sure you don't make the mistake that I see a ton of brands make, where they pick a review and they think, hey, this is a 10-page review, I'm gonna use this because there's so much info about my product, like people are gonna love reading this. No, you want to go for like maximum like 3 lines maybe, to make sure it actually fits into a smaller format like an email actually most typically is. So as you can see right here, there's like not a lot of words on their reviews, to make sure it's actually digestible and easily readable for people when they scan through an email, because obviously they're not going to read through the entire email every single time, very rarely at least. So make sure you use short, kind of concise and clear reviews. Here we've got one for big blankets, hype for fall, and then it's just showing kind of like more official reviews from like different, I think, magazines and stuff like that. And then we have one from actually Bands here, with different reviews again, and yeah, obviously just some very nice emails and some more examples here. One from Bloom on the left, meet our official derm partner, so obviously a ton of social proof right there. They have an expert in the field that kind of endorses their brand. Definitely a key concept to use as well if you have that kind of leverage in any kind of shape or form for your company. And yeah, from Olukai right here, we have more reviews, and then the same for Native here on the right as well. So ton of good examples. Definitely make sure you incorporate social proof emails in every single monthly campaign calendar that you create, really. And now looking at offer-driven campaigns, obviously we all know these are the ones that you don't want to run too often, but still they are a key part, or they should be a key part of most e-commerce brands' campaign strategies. So obviously offer-driven campaigns are all about generating that revenue with some sort of deal, discount, whatever, to give people a good reason to actually buy right now instead of waiting for when they think the best time is, right? So you've got flash sales. So these are obviously quick, time-sensitive deals. So like 48 hours only, save whatever on this product, or payday sale, or hurry, get a free product with your order. You've also got holiday promotions. So obviously seasonal sales tied to certain shopping events. So like Black Friday deals are here, or your holiday savings start today, or Valentine's Day special, save certain amount, and customer win back offers. So here obviously you're trying to win back lapsed shoppers. So someone that shopped like, let's say 5 months ago, they haven't purchased again, so now you want to attempt to get them back, because obviously you spend money on acquiring them like 5 months ago. They haven't purchased again, so you want to, like, you can give them a pretty steep discount here for it to still be worth it, because it's just going to be like pure profit for you, right? So obviously you've got your welcome series, your automated flow, most likely where you're giving away an offer. You can still give this exact same offer. You can also give them new offers if they haven't gone ahead and purchased before. So obviously first time buyer offers are converting prospects to first time customers. This can be enjoy 10% on your first order. This can be new here. Here's your 10% off unlocked again just to get started. Your first order just got better, save 15% instead of 10% maybe, something like that. Exclusive access, you can also give like VIPs only, early access to this certain sale or this certain product, anything like that. You've also got subscribe and save offers if your company offers product subscriptions. So something like subscribe and save X percentage every single month, never run out again, get this product delivered to you, all of that stuff. So let's look at some examples. We've got MeUndies right here, 25% off site wide, very straightforward. Just here's the offer, here's the code. You're also getting free shipping, by the way. And here are some products with strike-through pricing to make it very, very clear exactly what people are getting. Then we've got Disco. I think these guys are out of business now, but it's just a nice looking email. So no less, 10% off. Obviously very straightforward. We've got 5, like 50% off plus free shipping for 3 subscription orders. Again, very urgency heavy, like the deal is going, gone. Make sure obviously you use this discount. Some more examples, flash sale from Trillery, last chance, very short email right here in the middle, but still so impactful. This probably would just drive a lot of sales if you're doing email marketing right. So whenever you send out just such a simple email right here with almost no effort on your part, this will still just absolutely crush it for you. Flash sale on the right here, buy 2 get 1 free, starts now. Very obviously straightforward examples, but that is just how your offers should be looking, your sale campaign should be looking most often, and they just work super well when they're a key part of your campaign strategy, but not the only part of your campaign strategy. I'm in a good mood today, so here is a list of 39 proven campaign ideas you can steal. Obviously, no, I probably did not invent these from the ground up. I've probably stolen these otherwhere myself, but I've just gone ahead and listed these out for you. You've got product spotlight, collection spotlight, problem meets solution, how to use, brand values, myth debunk, staff favorites, customer reviews, how it's made, in-email quiz, us versus them, surveys, flash sale, influencer or celebrity feature, product education, tips and tricks, holiday sale, gift guide, bestsellers, expert feature, blog content, note from the founder, back in stock, monthly roundup, FAQ, product launch, featured in, zoom in on one benefit, zoom in on one feature, zoom in on one ingredient, trending products, before versus after, riddles, behind the scenes, sneak peeks, UGC content, almost sold out, subscribe and save, bundles highlight, and that's just obviously to name a few. Once maybe you have access to this document, you can also click right here on the bottom so you can see a lot of other email examples as well, but hopefully there are a few in here that you can hopefully make good use of. All right, the secret weapon in your campaign strategy. So what's the secret? Well, it's plain text emails. Maybe you already know about them, but plain text emails can be extremely, extremely powerful. You don't want to underestimate them, no matter what type of brand you run. Maybe you're running like a premium jewelry brand where your average order value is like 8,000. Well, you should still be sending plain text emails, trust me. We have a brand, or we work with a brand where the average order value is like 12,000 for, again, just one order. Plain text emails still crush it for them. So you don't want to use them all the time, but just here and there, they work super, super well. So make sure you incorporate those in your monthly email campaign strategy. So why do they work so well? Well, they stand out from the usual designed emails. They're like a pattern interrupt. They look like they're coming from a friend. They're like very natural and authentic. They humanize the brand and seem personal. They're simple, direct, and feel more authentic. And they just typically inbox better. You'll gain, like there's a higher chance you'll land in the inbox compared to the promotions folder when you're sending a plain text email compared to like a designed email. So here are just 7 pro tips for plain text emails. So you want to keep them fairly short. We've seen this work the best. So like under 100 words. You want to make it look like it's coming from the founder or just any type of kind of like team member. If you don't want to use any certain or specific name, you can just say like it's coming from the team and like the signature. So you want to change up the sender name to the founder's name and sign the email off as the founder as well. If you're sending this from the founder, it doesn't have to be the founder actually writing it. It isn't for the brands that we work with. We obviously write them and then the founder kind of signs off and approves these emails, but it still looks like for the customers of the brand that it's coming from the founder and that the founder actually wrote these. Tip number 3, you want to have like 1 to 2 CTAs using hyperlinked text. So I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Plain text emails also work great as sale reminders too. That's where we see like the highest ROI or the highest return on these emails. You want to use something like the Arial font to look more like a native email in the inbox. You can also use the PS section to grab more attention. So this could be like if you're writing like let's say you're writing a sale reminder email from the founder, and then after the signature you're saying like PS, this is my favorite product, with like a hyperlink, but without actually mentioning what the product is in that text. It's just going to be linked to a certain product. So there's a ton of curiosity in there as well, and it makes people really want to click and see what the product is. It could also be PS, there's only 72 hours left of this sale or whatever. So those are 2 other kind of like quick bonus tips as well. And like I mentioned, you want to use plain text emails sparingly, not all the time. Maybe like 10 to 30% of your monthly emails could be plain text emails. That's typically the range that we are within for most clients. Let's look at some examples here. Hey there, counting down the days for Black Friday deals. The wait is over. We're offering our VIP subscribers an early BOGO deal on our coffee concentrates. So yeah, obviously you can see it's very, very short, very direct, and this just completely crushes it. Here's one from the brand called Bress. Hey yo, Friendsgiving is all about showing up for the people who matter most, and we're here to help make it a little easier and way more fun. Our blends are the perfect addition, and then obviously going into an offer as well, because that typically is when these emails work the best, but they can crush it for pretty much anything, even like product restocks or new products or company-wide announcements, all of that stuff as well. So here's one secret sale from, as you can see right here, Brian at Big Blanket Co. It's the co-founder. So again, in the sender name, it says Brian, and it's also signed off by Brian. So works super, super well. Definitely try these out for your brand as well. If you need more ideas, more campaign ideas, you can do this thing called zooming in on micro topics. So what do I mean by micro topics? So micro topics are zoomed in, kind of more focused pieces of information about a certain product, problem, solution, etc. Instead of trying to explain everything at once in one email, you just zoom in on one smaller point in the email. So here's a quick visual explanation. So let's say you have a brand, you're selling like fitness equipment, you have macro topics. So let's say something like improving flexibility, losing weight is another macro topic. Third one is like tighten skin. One is like relieve pain naturally. Last one is like build muscle. Under these macro topics, you've got micro topics. So let's say you take build muscle as like one of the macro topics. Well, beneath this, you've got micro topics such as our most loved equipment for muscle building, best home exercises to get stronger, top 5 equipment for building muscle, can you do cardio while building muscle, 3 bulking myths. All of these micro topics are like they just come from this macro topic. So there are hundreds of different micro topics below one macro topic, if not, obviously a lot more. So definitely use these. So why do you want to use micro topics? Well, most people only glance at emails for literally like 5 seconds at most. It's easier to remember just one clear point compared to like a bunch of scattered ideas in one email. If you cram too much information into one email, well, then the point gets lost and forgotten. So how do you utilize micro topics? So focus on one thing. This could be like a single product feature, one interesting ingredient, one big benefit, one overall solution, or just one single tip to get a better result or improve a certain thing or whatever. So just a few examples of other micro topics. So how protein is changing lives, the number 1 exercise for burning fat, benefit 9,000 dogs already love, 5 tips to improve gut health, why fat is good for you. So the point is for there to just be like one overall takeaway from the email and making it very quick and easy to digest for the reader. So we've looked at what you should be sending, how often you should be sending. Well, now who should you send to? So you rarely ever want to send an email campaign to your brand's entire email database, but you also don't want to make the mistake and go too advanced with the segmentation as well. So you want to avoid hyper segmenting your list, because even though it may sound like a smart move, like, hey, we're targeting these specific people with this specific targeted email, right? Well, it's simply not going to outperform sending emails to a broader engaged list, because it's also going to take up triple the amount of your time to send different emails to different and smaller segments. And not to even mention the fact that if you create one email that you think you're going to be sending to like a targeted segment, well, why would you not just send to that segment and then also send the email to all of the other people that also have directly shown you that they are interested in your emails? Unless you have some specific wording saying like, hey, you looked at this specific product within, obviously the last month, here's a certain offer for you. Well, then obviously you cannot send to every single person. But if you're sending just a certain product spotlight or an educational campaign about a certain product, and you think you only need to send to people that directly engaged with that product, well, then you're making the mistake that a lot of brands make. Like they think they need to be super, super smart and super, super cautious with their segmentation. Well, no, you just want to send to a lot more people, send to people that directly show you they are interested in your emails, instead of just assuming like this small group is going to be the only group that's interested in seeing what I have to say about this product. So that's also kind of the same thing that I'm showing you right here with this SpongeBob visual. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's go through a quick example. So the email campaign in this scenario that I'm about to go through is one that promotes a protein supplement. Email A, this is sent only to people that have purchased or browsed protein supplements. So maybe like 3,100 profiles. Then we've got email B, sent to people that have engaged with emails or the website last 90 days, 24,000 profiles. So which one do you think is going to win? Obviously email B is going to win for several reasons. It's targeting people that directly show some sort of email engagement and also store engagement. It's sent to a lot more people, and the protein supplement browsers / purchasers can still be an extra segment included in email B if they don't already fall within that engaged segment like I talked about before. Like you can just include these people in your emails if you think for some reason they wouldn't already be included in your normal engaged segment. And then you're hitting the people that you wanted to send to, but you're also sending to like 20,000 more people. So which one do you think is going to get the most sales? Well, obviously the one where you're sending to a lot more people. Yeah, maybe you're not going to directly like double the amount of purchases you're getting by doubling the amount of people included in your segment, but you're increasing your chances over time by sending to more people for every single campaign. As long as they're still engaged, you're not ruining your deliverability or sender reputation. You're just increasing your chances of actually making a lot more revenue. So you don't want to overcomplicate things by trying to be super, super smart and kind of hyper segment everything because you think you need to. So unless the goal is to send a specific offer to people that have already showed some interest in a specific product, and you don't want that offer to be given to everyone, well, then obviously you can make like very hyper segmented campaigns or emails or whatever. But that's rarely ever a good reason to exclude the rest of your engaged segment just to make a campaign seem targeted, unless the wording directly addresses that in the email, right? So send to engaged segment. So most emails for almost any brand should be sent to an engaged segment. You've likely heard me talk about this just before a little bit. So this ensures that you're only sending to people that actually want to see your emails, plus you're also strengthening your brand's sender reputation, also called deliverability, ongoingly. So you want to be sending to email engagers. So the timeframes here can be like differ a lot for different brands, but let's just use 90 days here as the base. So the segment would be looking like opened email last 90 days, or clicked email last 90 days, or subscribed to email marketing last 14 days, and can receive email marketing. So that's kind of your base email engaged segment. Then you've also got brand engagers 90 days. Again, timeframes will differ and should differ from brand to brand. So open email at least once last 90 days, or clicked email at least once last 90 days, or subscribe to email marketing last 90 days, active on site at least once last 90 days, viewed product at least once last 90 days, added to cart at least once last 90 days, started checkout at least once last 90 days, or placed order at least once last 90 days, and can receive email marketing. So your base segmentation strategy, in most cases, like 9 out of 10 of your emails should be going to your base engaged segment if the goal is to actually maximize revenue, which I imagine it hopefully is for you. So a good base engaged segment is a segment that gets you like 45-50% open rates consistently on a good amount of profiles. But you also need to ensure that you sometimes like cast a wider net to give people a chance to re-engage with your emails and become a part of that base engaged segment, so they can also kind of like start getting your regular campaigns. So how do you do that? Well, it's very simple. Obviously, again, you're sending to your base engaged segment pretty much for every single email to make it simple in this scenario. Well, then every 30 to 45 days, just pick one email campaign that you think is a good email campaign, hopefully, and send that to a much broader segment than you usually do. This will likely cause your open rate to like on that one email to drop just a little bit, but one email here and there is not going to cause like any deliverability problems. But by sending this email to a much broader engaged broader just segment, can still be engaged segment, but just broader than your usual one, well, then you're giving that extra pile of people that isn't part of your normal engaged segment a chance to actually click or open on your email even to become a part of your base engaged segment. And now they're suddenly getting like your routine like weekly email campaigns, and obviously now a part of your base engaged segment. So you've grown your base engaged segment, and that way your engaged segment will never stagnate. Obviously, hopefully you're also collecting new profiles with like a sign up form on your pop-up and all that stuff, but hopefully you get what I mean. So quick lesson, important lesson by the way, you don't want to overcomplicate it. Segmentation is of course necessary, but there's no need to overcomplicate it. Focus on higher leverage things, such as sending like great content to a lot of people, rather than sending like hyper specific content to a very small group of people. Okay, so we just talked about who you should be sending to. Let's just quickly address who you should not be sending to, also very important. So to keep your sender reputation strong, there are a few base exclusion segments that you need to always ensure you don't send to. So you've got bounced emails. So the definition here is emails that have bounced at least once over all time. Reason why is because these emails are like high risk and hurt deliverability a lot. So just, you don't want to be sending to them if they bounce. You've got spam traps. So definition here is person received at least 10 emails and never opened, clicked, or purchased. These emails could be fake or likely just never will engage with you. So you just want to get them off your list. You don't want to be sending to them and have them like pulling your sender reputation down. Placed order recently. So definition, person placed order at least once in the last 7-14 days, depending on, again, your like the timing of your delivery or your product fulfillment or whatever. Again, different from brand to brand. Reason why these people have just ordered. So to protect the customer experience, you want to make sure that they only receive the most relevant emails at this time, which should be your post-purchase emails that are in your post-purchase flow, and not campaigns where they could be hearing about like new discounts and all of that stuff when they just purchased. So that's just not great for the customer experience. So the time frame here again depends on your brand's products and delivery times, like I just mentioned. And the last one you want to make sure you exclude is a segment of currently in welcome series, abandoned cart, or abandoned checkout flow. So the definition here is person subscribed to email marketing or added to cart or started checkout last 3 days. The time frame here kind of depends on how long your flows are. So you can play with that a bit. There are also other ways of setting this up, but this is the most simple way and the easiest way. So these people are already active in one of the highest intent flows. So you don't want to disrupt their customer journey, as either the welcome flow, the cart flow, or checkout flow have emails that are the most relevant to these exact people right now. So you don't want to send them campaign emails at this time. So the time frame, again, like I mentioned, will depend on how long each flow is for your brand. But yeah, hopefully this makes sense. Again, leave a comment if it doesn't make sense. I'll try and explain, or you can email me at victor@opsia.com as well. But yeah, hopefully this makes sense. Alrighty, so let's talk about building a killer email campaign calendar step by step. Obviously very, very important and a big part of the monthly work every single month. So let's go through this. So at Opsia, we always aim to create campaign calendars around at least 2 weeks before we go into the new month. That leaves us enough time to stay ahead and avoid obviously stressing at the beginning of every month and trying to create a campaign calendar for the month that we're already in. So you want to do this in a timely manner, of course. But you also want to make sure you're not planning too far ahead and making yourself kind of extra vulnerable to unforeseen changes, such as like obviously stock not arriving in time or certain products selling out suddenly and stuff like that. So the first thing you want to do when building a killer email campaign calendar, going through the step-by-step here, is first you want to place the key dates. So you want to add emails for something like major holiday sales, upcoming product launches that you may have, restocks or flash sales that you want to run, or any other kind of brand specific events. You can also use this website right here called Printful. Just on Google, you can search up like e-commerce holidays 2025, and this should be coming up. It's very easy, it shows you all of the kind of major and even minor holidays as well. So you want to make sure you place those on the email campaign calendar first before moving on to step number 2, where we will be adding supporting emails and SMS campaigns as well if you do SMS. So you want to surround those initial key dates that you already placed in step 1 with supplementary emails like teasers for an upcoming sale, like, hey, we're doing something big in like 2 days. And also reminder emails like, hey, our sale is still ongoing, or our sale ends soon, all of that stuff, to make sure you're maximizing revenue for those kind of certain events that you already have. And then, like I mentioned, you also want to add in like SMS campaigns for key dates, like a sale starting or product launch or sale ending and anything like that. You don't want to go overboard with your SMS campaigns. It's obviously a very expensive channel, but more on that in another video. Step number 3, you want to make sure you learn from your last month's campaigns. So learn from last month's campaign's performance, double down on the angles that performed super well, and then you want to ditch the angles that really didn't perform at all. Step number 4, fill in the gaps with other seasonal content or relevant content, micro topics like I went through in this video as well, product spotlights, educational emails, etc., to make sure you're actually hitting those 3 to 4 email campaigns per week, like we also went through in this video. Last step, you want to steal good ideas, get inspired, like steal good ideas like an artist does from competitor brands and put your own spin on it. Obviously, don't just copy paste without changing anything up. Don't just copy the homework, obviously make it your own and add your own kind of creative spin on it. Here you can use websites like Meld or Really Good Emails as well for a ton of inspiration, which is something we also like to do at my company. That is it for this email campaign strategy guide. Hopefully you found it super, super valuable. If you want to maximize your brand's email revenue done for you, just book a call with me to see if we can help. Again, you can also email me at victor@opsia.com and see if we can do anything for you there. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. Take care.